Hi guys, Fight Maniac here with Karate World Championships 2016 review. World Championships was this year's in Linz, Austria. Before I start, I have to apologize for part of the black screen. I'm actually using a new program to record myself because Uh, I can just click on my camera bookmark to do it. So yeah, excuse me that you see part of the black screen. Uh, Actually, as I was in the World Championships as a volunteer, yeah, I didn't see that much. For example, because of all the work I had to do, I didn't see that much of the finals of competition. I saw only parts of it, which interested me the most. But I saw a lot of the preliminary competition. Yeah, and so this will actually be a bit of mix as a volunteer review and as competition review, which I saw. So let's begin. First, quickly about my volunteer work there in Linz. Yeah, so the work was fun to do it. Tips Arena, it surprised me to be honest by the size, and it was nice arena. Also, the football stadium that was nearby was very nice. It was fun working there. Yeah, it was never boring except for uh, first I was working 3 days in the arena, setting up the arena. Then one day they sent me to the design center where the competitors did register. I was working there for as info point for the person with disabilities because this was the second World Championships for people with disabilities. The first was 2 years ago in Bremen, Germany. So yeah, the design center working at InfoPoint was, to be honest, very boring. Then the next day I went again there, and luckily for me, it was a lot more crazy than the first day being there. But when the people, for example, ask me where is this, where is that, and so on and so on, I had to admit it that I don't know because I was the first time in the design center, and as I said in my announcement video, I'm actually not from Linz. I'm from the south neighbor country, Slovenia. Uh, so the Austrian south neighbor country, Slovenia. And the only minus also working as a volunteer was the opening ceremony when the nations walk out with the presentation of nations, like for example in Olympic Games. When we were the volunteers, we were choosing the nations which we would like to take out. Uh, so the tables with the name of nations and the flags with the nations. The guy who was telling us the nations which to choose to, uh, we was at first he was talking. These nations come from the right side. These nations come from the left side in the arena. So in the middle of that, he's still talking from which side which nations come, and then yeah, even when we asked him which side, he didn't tell us which side, and then we were just standing in the middle of the tatamis, not knowing where to go, and then so yeah, some volunteers started taking selfies, and the guy who was responsible for telling us where to stand, he started yelling at us. What are we? What? Why are we making selfies? We must stay. Well, And I was like, dude, what the fuck? You fucking didn't tell us where to stand. So how the fuck should we know where is our place to stand? So yeah, that's the only minus I had for the volunteers work. So that concludes the volunteer work review. Now let's go to the main event, to the competition review. I will skip the preliminaries because it was lots of going on. Uh, Lots of the times were free, so there was also lots to see. Okay, so yeah, as I said, won't review preliminary matches in both katas and kumites. Um, Except for the wheelchairs preliminaries, they only compete in katas. The wheelchairs male, in which our Slovenian dominated uh, the whole competition, the whole group, and so the only one who came close to him in the preliminary was the local competitor from Austria. So Slovenian Skender Tosic and the Austrian competitor. I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced his name. So yeah, Skender Tosic and the Austrian faced off in the finals. Later about when I get to the finals. And yeah, well, actually, I forgot if I said this a bit of bad. I'm training boxing, so for 5 years, so the punches are starting to affect my brains, but I'm not a punching bag there. I also can punch back a lot, hard, and so on. So uh, the Austrian was the closest to our competitor, but so the Austrian won his group, and I was, to be honest, expecting a bit more of a tight final. But as I said, I'll talk about it later. Uh, so that's it for the preliminaries review. Now let's move to. Oh no, sorry, forgot one of the preliminaries matches. Yeah, so when our Slovenian Ardit forgot his last name. So yeah, he lost before the semifinals. He lost to an Iranian guy. Then in the semifinals, the Iranian guy fought against the legend, still competing legend from Azerbaijan, Rafael Agayo. Agayo, to be honest, he should lose the final. Sorry, not the finals, the semifinals. But our and then allow our competitor, Slovenian competitor, Ardit, to go into the repassage. But yeah, as we know in the karate, the points are decided by referees who raise flags. There must always be two flags raised for the point to be valid. And the Slovenian referee, which was then the refereeing the semifinals between the Iranian and Rafael Agayo, didn't support the other referee who raised his flag for the Iranian guy, and yeah, a guy won, which then meant that our didn't go into the repassage, because for the repassage the Iranian should go to the finals and a guy in the bronze medal match. So that was in the fight under 75 kilos, and now let's go to the finals, which I saw. So yeah, I was interested in the finals for the 75 kilos. Agayo against the Egyptian guy. Agayo won his fifth. That was his fifth World Championships title, fifth gold medal. So yeah, really a legend. And he's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. okay, doesn't know a lot of English to talk about. Uh, the only words he knows is hi, how are you, and thank you. That's are the only three words he knows in English. I took picture with him, of course. Uh, so yeah, okay. A guy won in the finals against the Egyptian, as, as you probably guessed from me talking about his fifth world title, his fifth gold medal. So that was first final I saw. Yeah. Then I saw, I think it was under 80s, about 80 kilos. I'm not sure about it, but that's around 80s, maybe above 80, not 80, sorry, 80, but minus 80, around 80 kilos. So yeah, in the finals were Iranian and the Dutch fighter. So yeah, I was born actually in Netherlands, but I don't have Dutch nationality. Uh, but I feel connected to the Netherlands, to be honest. Yeah, the Iranian won, and that's another thing I hated. The Iranian karates, they were, to be honest, they was disrespecting during the Kumite fight, because every point they got, they just were for the others competitors. They didn't celebrate it during the match, but yeah, the Iranians every point they got was just like, and I was like, dude, chill, celebrate like this after the match, not between the match. Then I also got to know that if competitors is like that, he gets a penalty, but yeah, I don't know why the Iranians didn't get the penalties for that. So the Iranian one and the Dutch was second. So that's the second finals I saw. The third finals was in the males blind competition. So yeah, para karate, males blind competition. Uh, I was actually waiting for the Australian, which I saw first 6 years ago in a karate tournament for only for people with disabilities. The first Bavarian Open. The guy, the Australian guy, was amazing. For he did in the air, he did 360 turn and the perfect landings, no problems for the landing. So the yeah, that was the first, actually the only one I was interested in seeing. I saw, yeah, he was competing against a Moldavian karate competitor, and the Moldavian, I think that I can say, for example, the Moldavian surprisingly won, defeating the Australian, which was the defending world champion. He won his first world champion in Bremen 2 years ago. So yeah, the third one was Japanese competitor. Uh, and whereas I then talked the next with the Australian, he actually did make one mistake. Also tried the first, he went for the maybe 360 or just no, he a bit turned on the side, but yeah, he then told me that in the landing his legs slipped back, so that was his mistake that cost him the win. But still, it was tight. The lowest the Australian got was 8.3, and the lowest, if I'm the lowest the Moldavian got was 8.5, maybe 8.6. But yeah, otherwise the highest were very close. Uh, the Moldavian did the same then with the turn in the air, and this time he didn't have any problems with, but he didn't have any problems, so that's why he didn't get 8.3 as the lowest score. That was the third final I saw. Then the fourth final in the day. I saw was also the female blind competition between two Germans. I don't know what to say about them. So yeah, that was it for the blind. The only thing I was a bit confused was in the female were two German and sorry, not competitors. The fans, German fans, were starting yelling Deutschland, Deutschland, which means Germany, Germany, and I was like, we Germany, both are Germany. We Germany are you rooting for? So yeah, that was a bit funny to hear. As was that later in the next day, the last day in the also females wheelchair, but as I said, I will talk about it when I got to that. So yeah, for finals in the uh, actually the day before the end of the World Championships. So then the last day of the World Championships was actually the only one I got to see the whole competitions, the kata bronze medals, team, then the individual gold medal, or was that before? Yeah, the individual kata was before that. Um, so yeah, the finals of the team competitions and the wheelchairs final and bronze medals. That was what I saw the last day, because the last day I didn't work and I had time to watch. I don't remember all the medalists. I know that actually the last day the Turkey finally got one medal. It was the bronze in female team kata. Then then the finals male team kumite was which I remember also the most, because in the finals were the the Iranian male team and the Japan male team, which are, as I've said before, because of Iranians' behavior, I was for the Japanese team. But yeah, Iranians won, Japanese lost. We talking about also disrespect. I have to mention that when there was medal ceremony for the male kumite team, the Japanese didn't show up for maybe 5-10 minutes. So yeah, that was also a bit disrespectful towards the others. Even they were always calling them, but yeah, the Japanese needed 5 to 10 minutes to come out, and then they finally got okay. The people actually weren't booing them, which is which is nice, to be honest. So yeah, that's the one of the finals I will review, and now let's move to the more important finals for the Slovenian karate. As I said in my preliminaries review, it was Slovenia against Austrian. Uh, what I was surprised is that actually it was the Austrian first who started. He was in the red, while Slovenia was the last one. He was in the blue. So yeah, I thought when I saw Slovenia that he will actually lose, because I had the feeling that he was working more tense than the Austrian. But on the last day, the Slovenians, we got the first para karate world champion, which was nice to see and hear the Slovenian national anthem in the full, almost full Tips Arena, to the disappointment to all the Austrian fans. Home nation hero, which won the silver medal uh, in the kayak canoe on the slalom in the Paralympics. So yeah, as then I listened to our world champion. He, to be honest, didn't care about Slovenian anthem. He just wanted to shut the Austrian median mouth because they were pronouncing how the Austrian will win the gold medal and so on, which did get on his nerves. And okay, when I said that, I thought that he was a bit more tense than the Austrian. This week, couple of days ago, then I talked with our Slovenian coach, and then he said that yeah, he wasn't tense, but he was actually doing the cut a bit more quickly. So then that's why I had the feeling that he was more tense than the Austrian. Yeah, and then yeah, the finals of the last finals was the females wheelchair between two Ukrainians and as I said for the Germans when the fans were chanting Germany. Germany now in the Ukrainian finals, the fans were chanting Ukraine, Ukraine, and I was like, again, which Ukraine? Both are from Ukraine. So that's it for the World Championships. As I saw it, it was nice. My first actual also World Championships I saw. Uh, and I saw live and working there as a volunteer. It was nice experience for that, for the opening ceremony and Gadas. Um, and the only thing I also a bit hate is that the Karate World Championships official theme We Are Karate isn't for free on YouTube. You had to buy it. Okay, it's cheap. It's 69 cents on iTunes and the Google Play Store, but I don't know. I think still it's a bit stupid to pay for it. I would rather show it for free on YouTube and then convert it into MP3 with YouTube converter and then listen to it, for example, on my MP3 player or some instead of just on my mobile phone. So that's it for now. Really nice World Championships, lots of fun being there. Except, yeah, the young and then the referee is stealing for our that semifinals between a guy and Iranian. So that's it, and I'll see you guys next time.